Hey guys, been a while. Welcome back to Podtendo's Ultimate Tier Ranking List. And this year, instead of kind of every week or every kind of episode doing one, we thought this would be a great year-end project where we can kind of just review all the games that we'd covered over the year and rank them and kind of have a big retrospective. And you know what? We did so much homework. We both went back. We played through our whole catalog. We listened to every show. So, poof, we're going to be dialed in. Definitely not making everything up.
Especially not right on the spot.
Yep. No, that's it. So I definitely just had the list written down for days. Didn't just write it down quickly before we did this and find some videos or some images. That's it. So year end. Happy end of 2024. Good year, bad year? I don't know. It was a year.
Yeah, it's a year for sure. I don't think it's the worst year. I think this is an average year.
Okay.
It's an average year. Not great, but it's not bad. It's just maybe a little in the middle.
I would say that's pretty accurate of the games, some of the games we played, because some of these I'm like, oh boy, that's definitely an experience we had. I forgot all about it. Just like our first game we have to talk about, we have to pull the Band-Aid off, we have to start somewhere. James Bond, Everything or Nothing on the Game Boy Advanced.
Oh yeah, this was our James Bond game of the year.
Yep.
Our game, it's a Game Boy Advance game. I don't hate it, but I'm never gonna play it again.
Yeah.
So for me, gut reaction. I'm not gonna burn it. It's okay, but it's definitely skippable. So where are we putting it in skippable?
Is it like above Sarge's Heroes?
Yeah, I'd definitely play that before Sarge's Heroes.
Cool, sick.
And Tecmo Bowl has definitely better gameplay than that game.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'm gonna do this just for now. Just we know where it goes. I'll sort it afterwards. Just my bottom part of the screen fell out. And I don't know if we have any other skippable games. So, assuming we can fill out these other little categories, I think we'll be all right. Oh, good times. I don't know how to adjust this. I think we just have too much content. I don't think people are meant to rank these many things. I don't know what we've created here, but it's kind of a monster.
Well, we're kind of going for it for some reason.
Yep.
But let's keep adding.
I think so, every year. That takes us to our next game that we played, the espionage thriller, meta-breaking game, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
Yes. Always fun to play a Metal Gear Solid game.
Mm-hmm.
This one kind of has a bit of a letdown, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does.
I think it's good, but flawed.
Okay.
I don't think it's a great experience. I'm sure some people would go to bat that this is definitive, but it really just kind of retreads the first game, but better graphics.
Sure.
Not just the first game story more, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now looking at that list.
My gut reaction is.
Sure, yeah, let's just go to good but flawed. I like that. That's probably the category I would put it in as well. Is it better than the Pokemon games? No. Is it better than 007?
GoldenEye? GoldenEye, yeah.
GoldenEye's pretty good. Yeah. It's not better than Diddy Kong. Maybe that's where it belongs. Right after Diddy Kong?
Yeah, I think it's better than I think it's definitely better than Tony Hawk.
Okay, cool. Sick. So, and you noticed we didn't mention Smash, so I'm just going to take that as it's slightly behind Smash. Yeah, that seems about acceptable.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I question everything. I mean, I haven't listened to those shows. I haven't gone back. Obviously, we haven't done that this year. So jumping into this list, oh man, we definitely should have looked at it for a second before starting this ranking, because I have some questions.
Wow, go ahead. I know why Smash Brothers is here. It's because it's the N64 one. And
yeah.
The slowdown is kind of meh. But the gameplay is fun. It's super fun.
Sure.
Especially if you have friends around.
It's still good but flawed. Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, it just got some slowdown issues.
Okay.
Other than that, great. It's a Smash game. They're never bad.
I feel like we have another, I'm not going to tip my hat here, but we have Mega Man X2 and X3 were the next games that were released via our podcast. And where do they go? I kind of feel like I want to clump those into good flawed.
Yeah. I'm looking at that Mega Man game in good and flawed.
And just slightly above them? Yeah, that's probably fair. Just because the graphics got so terrible on those bosses. That's the one thing I remember. I spent so much time trying to be go fight the crawfish man. And I was actually fighting the Hornet. And it took me a day, 45 minutes one time, just, stupid.
Yeah, but they did have some fun bosses, so it's like
Oh, yeah.
kind of redeemable in some
Oh,
spots. But yeah,
it's just the menu.
starting to get a little.
Just
Yeah.
the menu is terrible. That's all. Like literally, I just want to write Crawfish Man's level, and I would have been like, "Oh, this game's awesome." So
Yeah.
okay. That's my biggest complaint. Other than that, game is great, delightful. Play it. It's fun. From there, though, we get to play something that is less fun. South Park 64.
Oof. Yeah. Ugh. It's repetitive.
Skippable.
Not
right?
Not a lot of fun. Definitely skippable.
Okay.
Definitely skippable. Now where in skippable? I kind of like it more than Mario Tennis.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna I'm like slowly going down the list. I'm like, ugh, is it better than Golden Sun? Maybe.
Star Fox is better than it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe like between ActRaiser and Star Fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember I didn't really care for ActRaiser, so it's kind of all like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere in this area seems right.
Okay. I did not expect that, so we'll just put that right there. I'll adjust that list a little bit later before I let everyone go for the day. From there, though, we get to go to Pokemon Snap, which I believe we already have ranked. So we can just look at good, flawed. If you go to the bottom column, you see Final Fantasy and Mario. It's somewhere there, Dr. Mario. Pokemon Snap, right beside Mario Party. So would I change that ranking? Nah, it's... yeah.
I think... Yeah, it could maybe go behind Mario Golf, but that's just because I have such a fun time with Mario Golf.
Yeah.
I'm unlocking all the characters, and then as soon as they're all unlocked, I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, that's... okay.
So, did we skip Gomon?
No, it's next game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap. That's fine where it's at.
Sweet. Cool.
It's who doesn't love a camera simulator?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Pokemon Safari, but you shoot Pokemon, but they don't die. So everyone lives and has good times. Just like the next good time that we had when we played Mystical Ninja, starring Goemon for the N64. And, oh, baby, I think we just got to put it right up here. And then we can kind of talk our way through and say, on great experiences, where does Mystical Ninja exist?
Kind of like it where it's at right now, actually. Kind of a little bit behind Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yeah, I know.
Like, maybe... It's like that almost works really perfectly for it, because it's not better than Turtles in Time. And
True.
maybe it's better than Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but I just have such a love for that game, especially around Halloween. Go on. I think it's just but a great game. Really, really, tons of fun.
Yeah, I would say in terms of it's difficult, you're definitely going to have a couple puzzles probably explained to you and be like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do? Awesome, cool. It's just as cryptic as, say, Zelda 2, Link, The Adventures of Link, right? So it's just maybe a more honed in, refined experience. It's kind of over the top. It's very colorful. And it's, if you wanted to play a action-y Zelda-like puzzle game, but obviously you've played Ocarina of Time, because who hasn't? This is probably one of the ones I'd say maybe seek out, because you'd be pleasantly surprised that you're like, yeah, it's just kind of like weird Japanese ninja Zelda.
Yeah, with lots of different characters and Plasma.
Yeah.
I love that guy. There's just there's even a little bit of voice acting, and it's cute. It's adorable. It's a great little world. I love the Gomon franchise, and that game is peak for me. So it's good. It's a great experience. Yeah,
cool.
Good spot.
Sick. From there, though, we get to go to Kirby 64.
Ooh, burn it. Those game garbage.
Okay. So that's
where I put it. That's where I would put it. You could probably put it in skippable. It's probably better than Sarge's Heroes, but at the same time, it's I don't know. This game, I have bad memories of this game. So where would you put it without your bias? I'm clearly biased to this pick.
I think just based on the fact that it is a functioning world, it's just bland. And I think that's kind of was our general consensus of going back and playing this game. Yeah, some of the weapon combos are fun to play around with, but once you realize there's 2 or 3 really good ones, why would you ever not use them, right? The save states obviously break the game, and it's just kind of is a meager, unless you're really into trying to get every single unlockable, and you have that kind of time and dedication. I don't know if it's, would I say skip it? Right? Is it worse than Disney afternoon games? Where's the next?
So. I think so.
We have Banjo-Kazooie there. I might put it behind Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I would put it like behind Mario Golf. We'll come back. At the end, if I put it behind Banjo-Kazooie and we're happy, we'll leave it. So I hope we don't have to add any more to that list. So good job by us. One game we did forget is Goonies 2. Apparently I just crossed it out and completely skipped over that. So before that, we did have a little double feature with the movie Goonies and Goonies 2. And where does that belong on this list? Because I kind of feel like we don't have to do a skippable Goonies 2 in terms of like NES adventure side-scrolly. Speaking of kind of like Legends of or Adventures of Link adjacent, it's not bad. It's good, but it's flawed.
No, it's not bad at all. Yeah, of course.
Like, does it not kind of just go right between like this little trio?
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Like Star Tropics, yeah, maybe is a better game, but Goonies is also kind of fun and it has like the adventure elements, and you might have to like draw some and like leave some hints, and then it's very adjacent to like Dracula Castlevania 3.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely less frustrating.
Okay.
But just like, it's an interesting game. I really didn't mind playing it at all. I thought it was like really pretty fun. So, yeah, that works.
Okay.
That works.
Nice. Solid. And then from there, though, we got into our Scary Spooky Month. So with that, what we're doing was we watched the Silent Hill movies. We did so many double features. This was a triple feature. We watched the terrible movies. But then we played the pretty good game. Pretty overall good kind of hoary. Ooh. Well, parts of it, I guess. The movies got there a little bit with the nurses. Like, they were definitely trying to, like, get you jizzed up a little bit, right?
Yeah, they definitely were like, see, it's creepy and attractive. Isn't that weird?
Whoa. With that, though, how much respect do we give this game? Like, it doesn't belong there, does it?
It like, I wouldn't put it there.
But it belongs there?
Maybe.
Is it better than Stardew and Shovel Knight? It's different, right? For like older adventure games, those is it better than Pokemon's? Yeah, probably. It's better than GoldenEye, Diddy Kong. Because it is iconic. It does kind of create a sense of dread. And again, that opening hour and a half of the game until you get kind of the end done to the school. Oh, it's thrilling. It's simple. It's easy to figure out. Right, the puzzles aren't too bad. They get way more ridiculous after that. But I think it's a pretty solid little time, and just the atmosphere in the game, that era that it kind of creates. I think it kind of goes there, at least the first like hour and a half in my mind.
Yeah, I also think that it's pretty like manageable.
Okay.
In a way, where it's like it's easy to progress, as opposed to some horror games where you're like, it's so easy to get lost and just not know what the heck you're supposed to do. Even when I didn't really know what I was supposed to do, I could kind of just like blindly check everywhere quickly and just keep progressing. Like I never felt stuck, and I didn't necessarily need to rely on a walkthrough. There was a couple puzzles, obviously, that I was like, I'm never going to solve this, but for the most part, it was pretty good.
Okay. Solid. Sick. So nice. Good job, Silent Hill. From there, though, we went out of Scary Spooky Month into the month of Mario, which led us to our first Mario game, Wario Land 3.
Yeah. Again, I think this is a good but flawed game, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I definitely would have like, okay. But do we have to start at the bottom and then work our way up, or we can kind of say, oh, it's definitely better than blank. Like, maybe it's better than Mario 2?
Yeah. Or is it even better than the RPGs, the frustrating RPGs that we got kind of clumped all together?
Yeah, I could see that.
Put this behind... Yeah. Like, I mean, just because I was, like, kind of a dumb kid and I didn't really get it at first, but I think it's a very... Like, they take a lot of limited resources and they make it very playable. Yeah, that's kind of where I was actually thinking.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was like, no, that's not an awkward RPG. That's Pokemon, Tyson. Pokemon is not an RPG. It's like, Pokemon is life.
Yeah, but I think What was the issue with Diamond? I think there was something we just got like.
I don't know. I know nothing about that game. I
think it was Pokedex. I think we just had the boringest Pokedex ever.
Maybe.
And we were like, I just didn't care about my team, and
Yeah.
I think I barely had enough to like make a cool, manageable team. So I think that's why we ended up slapping it there. But yeah, I like Wario Land 3. I mean, I think it's a very unique experience. Like. Limited resources. I wish that a lot of other developers would almost take the creativity and the revisiting, and like, hey, it gives you helpful hints. Hey, when you unlock something. Here's the 2 places. Like, sure, you might forget which ones were unlocked, but that's half of the fun. Just go explore, check stuff out. Yeah, it's decent game.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I would agree with those sentiments. It was kind of just a dungeony, puzzly platformer, right? I thought some of the mechanics of returning to a world seemed interesting, right? Intriguing. I haven't seen those before, so I was kind of like, oh, yeah, no, this is an experience for sure. And if you had the time and can write stuff down and made a little list, you could play it, but you have to do that because the game does not provide you. The menu system is terrible. So, flawed. It's a big flaw in that game. Big flaw. Just like our next game has no flaws whatsoever. Luigi's Mansion. Best game ever. Required playing maybe the greatest game of all time. Boop.
Oh, if that game Nintendo wishes that was true.
Yeah.
That is a good but flawed game in my opinion.
Yeah.
Cool mechanics. It just kind of boring, repetitive, and you end up being like, I don't really care. So.
No, it's not as good as maybe behind Tony Hawk.
Yeah, it's definitely less frustrating than the X-Men 2.
Although I seem like we like that game because then it's like Mega Man. Like, is it? I don't know. Is it better than Mega Man? I don't know. Kirby, Nemesis, behind Turok. Sure.
You know what? That's fine.
Okay.
That's a good spot for it. It's definitely more going on than the original Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, and it was as a short kind of arcade experience. It's just kind of a quick snippet. Great, awesome, perfect, works for you, right? So I would say it kind of probably fits there. Maybe don't play it on a 3DS with terrible control schemes, right? Maybe find yourself an actual GameCube controller of some sort. Probably enhances the experience, but yes, definitely not the greatest experience. Much like our last game that we talked about this year, and it was the PS1 classic. She took the world by storm back in 1998 or whenever that game was released. We're talking about Tomb Raider, the very first one on the PlayStation.
Yeah. A game that I've always been intrigued by because we never had it on PlayStation. First time playing it, it's like playing the remastered. Like, thank goodness, because it gives you alternative control schemes. And I remember just having to flip between the modern and tank controls for precise platforming and precise jumping, and the bloody modern controls for combat. It's just a clunky mess. I think this game is probably skippable. Like, I didn't get a lot out of it by. Like, I don't love the Tomb Raider franchise more by playing that game. In fact, it's like, this is where it came from. I see where it's like grew up, but it's kind of like Sarge's Heroes in my mind.
Oh my god! Like, what? No way! I was literally gonna say I think it goes in front of Sarge's Heroes.
Yeah.
Huh. Yep. Crazy. Cool. Okay, I'm not gonna put it there because again, my list moves and we still have 2 more games to talk about. And you're like, guys, what are you talking about? You just played. I was listening diligently. I saw Tomb Raider just came out, guys. You just finished. What other games could you possibly have talked about? We had 2 big retrospectives that we did this year, along with all of our X-Men shows. So that was a big part of our year. It was talking about 10 X-Men cartoons. Good times. But we did play 2 Masterclass. We'll work backwards. Like maybe the better one is the second one. And the second retrospective that we did kind of over the summer was Final Fantasy IX. So look at this list. Isn't it neat? Don't you think it would be more complete if Final Fantasy IX was ranked? So where does Final Fantasy IX go on this list?
I have a soft spot for this game.
Okay.
Like, this game is one of my favorite Final Fantasies.
Okay.
It's maybe top 2 or top 3, top 4. I would put this. I want to kind of put it in required playing, but I think it might fall more in the great experience, just above Final Fantasy VI.
Huh. That's high. I don't know if I would have got that high. Is it better than Pokemon? And I guess that's our Final Fantasy standard. Like, if I'm going to drop down here, yeah, it's better than this game. It's better than that game. I don't know why I was trying to rank it over. But I don't know if it got there. Huh.
That's fair.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
I mean, that's probably where it is, because it's like great while you're playing it, fantastic. You like, I think back on it, but I'm not going to rush out and play it again.
That's my hesitation. I was like, I don't know if I'd go back and play that game in terms of fun, right? I might drop it below Gold and Silver, just for the replayability, because I go to my Game Boy now and I see a copy of Gold and Silver. I'm like, I'm definitely just going to play me some Pokemon and just like sit and grind out a team, and in a couple of weeks be like, oh yeah, just beat Elite Four, Gold and Silver, awesome time, super. Final Fantasy 9, I'd probably have to like start a podcast and like night.
Johto World, yeah, like it's good.
Yeah. Okay. I feel more comfortable with that flip.
Incoherentness of the plot.
Yeah. Okay. Sick. And that means our last show before I kind of do that reshuffle and then we kind of say bye and save is what we started the year with. It was our Legend of Zelda experience, our jump in for the year, and we got to play Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. So it got a retrospective, so that probably means like it was pretty good. Based on all of these, oh man, it just goes like way up here, right?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of where I was thinking. I was like, is this required? Because this is like the start of the cartoon Link.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Toon Link. Yes.
And like we have Toon Link, we have like modern or like mature Link, and then like young Link. We have the different like art styles, and it's like this kind of started it. So, but without the like, if you're playing the GameCube edition, it's kind of rough. I want to say the sped up travel. In the
HD remake, yeah, the creature comforts that you get makes that game infinitely better. So
yeah, so it's got a little like rough edges if you're just looking at the base edition. So it's probably just a great game, but it's not bad. I think about that game fondly.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's just like a fun world to explore. I just wish that there was a little bit more to explore. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's alright. It's not bad. No, I can't put something up there and not kind of wax poetically at some point and try and get some point across. Yeah, I mean, we did a 4-part show. We kind of dove through and tried to explain. I do think it was a game limited by the fast development and just some of the limits they were trying to push and the scope and scale that they kind of went. It does feel like there's just parts missing, right? Story beats and elements, I don't know, that could have been fleshed out a little bit more. I tried to do my best and read between the lines and kind of give you my version, right? My headcanon, what I think Wind Waker means. And it makes it a bit more of a powerful experience. Had they been able to portray that and add just those, little story elements here and there, this could be up a tier, right? There's no way this could easily jump past Chrono Trigger, but I do think Chrono Trigger has a more complete, complex, diverse, intermingled story, whereas Wind Waker is just that little bit of a step back. From a gameplay point of view, revolutionary. It's great. It gave us a Link that went on to star in probably the most games ever, right? I think we did that. We kind of said like what model has lasted the longest. He's had almost the most entries. The sound's great. The water is just beautiful. It's gorgeous. You love spending time in that world. Like Tyson mentioned, HD remake. Get that version. When that comes on the Switch or the Switch 2 or something, everyone's gonna buy it and be like, perfect, great, awesome. And it's going to probably see some like a big love affair. I think we have it up on the list perfectly in that reason. And that's kind of what I have to say. But again, not the best perfect game. It's just like, it seems like there's like a couple like parts that are like scene missing.
Yeah, or they're like, we don't really have a dungeon here. Just do this little puzzle and there you go. It's like, really could use some content here, guys. So, or, yeah, just a more lively world. But for what they had going, like, incredible. Considering that came out. Like, you look at what they could do technologically with Luigi's Mansion, like, which, like, wow, this is like the particle physics is really neat and interesting. And then this was like, here's a massive world that is like seamlessly loading, and it's just beautiful.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Sweet.
They did from a technical aspect. I just think the soundtrack's a little lacking. Chrono Trigger's definitely got a better soundtrack. So.
That's fair. Yeah. So just a quick recap of what we did this year. We didn't hit any required playing. Now, that might be a top list to touch because I don't know if there's a lot of games I'd even say are left up on that tier, right? Just based on kind of how we're dividing stuff. A couple great experiences, right? We saw Wind Waker, Final Fantasy IX got added to the mix, Mystical Ninjas. We did hit some big guys. A couple good but flawed games, right? I think we had.
Wait until we play Gex, Mick. That would be the required plan.
Like at a certain
top of the list.
At a certain point, I'm just gonna have to like scroll down, and we just like don't worry about the top. We're like, that's it. This is the pantheon. No games are better than these games. These are our best games ever, and everything else.
Yeah, we'll eventually get there, or there might be the odd game that slips in there. But
what?
for the
1,
most
2,
part,
3, 4, 5,
we're kind of
6,
hanging out
7,
in great
8,
skippable
9, 10,
land.
11, 12, 13,
Hopefully, we don't
14,
hit any
15, 16,
burnouts.
17. Yeah, we could do like 17. I guess if we start hitting a couple of these, that like bumps us down again. But look at that. We're like a two screen kind of show. Again, I don't know if tier lists were meant to do this, but we've done this and we're going to live like this. And I think we'll say goodbye. So this is kind of our year in review. If you guys did miss out on any shows, it's an easy way of getting a quick opinion. And if you're like, I would never play Wario Land, but I see it on my Nintendo Online. Listen to us talk about it, and we maybe can convince you to play. You might have a good time. I don't know why that became an advertisement for Wario Land 3 at the end. It's weird.
Yeah, well, you know what? Because Wario Land 3 is an okay game.
Sure.
Maybe even a good game.
Again, it's still just an advertisement for Wario Land 3. So we'll say that. Happy New Year's. We do have this is independent. This is a YouTube specific kind of year-end show. We probably will do some type of recap on actual podcast. So maybe even get like 2 shows in the same day. Whew, maybe one's like a January 1st. Wake up. Listen to us talk about old podcasts. Fight the hangover. Sounds fun.
Yeah, should be a good time. Pretty okay year. Looking forward to the next one.
Awesome. Cool. All right. See you guys next time or next year, and we talk about new games. Wonder how they ranked. I wonder. Bye.
What's Wonder Bar?